this morning, but you're not seeing me because I'm a mess. You're not seeing this hair and my inch-wide stripe of white hair that needs dealing with. So I'm just going to go through some sales because I've been promising to do this forever, and I've been playing with StreamYard this morning and trying to work it out. So if anyone's in, do say hello, because again, I'm not entirely sure if this works terribly well, but obviously this will be there for you to look at later on. So I'm thinking I've done this right. I'm just going to fiddle about. You should be seeing, if I've got this right, you should be seeing a picture of a Fred Perry jacket. Here we go, nice spell out logo on the front. Now, you know me, I'm a bit disorganised and I can't honestly remember what I paid for each of these items now because some of them have been around for a while. Oh, hello, someone's in. Hello, Lainey. Oh, bless you. I saw you last night and I thought she's going to fall asleep. She's going to fall asleep. I would have done. Bless you, putting up with those fellas. Hello, Just Me. Whoever Just Me is, that's a brilliant name. Pauline. Obviously, it's Pauline. Hello, Pauline. Hello, Gemma-Lou. Yeah, this is just really, I was trying to schedule and put out a sales video and I failed because I think StreamYard only does live. So here we go. This is me attempting to do what I'm doing. So here we go. Sorry, I'm making you all feel a bit seasick. This was a Fred Perry men's extra large fleecy jacket. I mean, again, I wouldn't have paid more than the £5 for it. It might have been even less, but it went for a full asking price of $44.99. I think being a very large size does help with these things. It was in pretty good nick. It was genuine, obviously, and it was a nice thing. This kind of stuff sells now. All of these sales, and I've got 20 of them, are purely sort of plucked from my September collection of what's gone. Hello, Kathy Makes. I wonder what Kathy does make. That sounds interesting. Hello, Joan. I was going to say you were struggling to get a word in there, Lainey. I think after a while you were losing the will to live because I didn't watch the whole thing. I just happened to sort of catch it while I was flicking through, and I was sitting in bed and thinking, I feel your pain. Bless them. They're all having a lovely time, weren't they? So when I list things, obviously I always do put in the labels so that people know. It just gives people an idea of what they're getting, and it's fleecy line. So there we go. Perfect for this sort of weather. These are sort of going backwards in order of sale, I think, because I just kind of scrolled through what I had and picked. So I'm hoping this is working well, in which case I'll continue to do it a little bit more regularly. I can't pick everything I sell, but this is a make which I've picked out because I'd never heard of it before. This was something I bought in a £2 for everything sale, and I like the look of it. And in fact, it is a ladies' one, but a chap was trying it on. he was trying it on. I was thinking that's definitely a ladies' one. So when he put it back on the rail and was clearly not interested in it, I grabbed it for £2. Yes, I think so. Especially $47.99 as a sale. Didrikson's, one of these Norwegian brands. They're good at cold weather, aren't they? So I figured that was going to be a goodie. I love the colour of it. It's so rich. There we go. Close up of the name. Didrikson's 1913. Here we go. I always think if there's lots of labels in and it looks quality, that kind of, there we are, made in China, but hey, isn't everything these days? So storm system, 100% waterproof. I defy anything to be 100% waterproof, but clearly this is. It was a nice quality thing, so do keep your eyes peeled for that little Bolo brand, certainly one I'd not seen before. Moving on here. Next. Now this, a lady came and picked this up for me last night. I'm trying to photograph. The weather's been really odd, and I find that my light up here, doesn't matter how many light systems I try, some days are good for photographing and some days are crap. It was actually a little brighter than this. It's a boucle Top Shot one. I think this was a boot fair find. I literally only put it up a couple of days ago. Very much the thing last winter. Clearly also a thing this winter. Doesn't look anything much on a mannequin, got to say, but it's very bright, very orange, and that went quite quickly. I only put £20 on it because it was Top Shot, because I didn't think it was anything special. Maybe I underpriced, who knows, but I was happy because it had only cost me £1 or two, so it didn't owe me very much at all. Hello, Peter. Hiya. Nice to see you this morning. I'm surprised you're not out and about today, because it's actually raining right now. Oh, I'm glad you're not seeing me. I'm still sat here in my dressing gown, my hair all over the place. Although I have had my morning coffee, so, you know, things aren't too shabby. On to the next item, number 4. Ta-da! People say it's always difficult to photograph black, and yes, it is. I tend to try and photograph on a dull day. I will brighten as much as I can so that you can see the pattern on it. This had a jacquard pattern on it. Not easy to see. There we go, sort of woven in pattern. A nice little lacy hem. This was just a really nice quality item. Frank Usher, I believe, if I've got that right. Yes, Frank Usher. Nice big bow on the back, and obviously you can get that in all the pictures. A nice big bow on the back there. They're not the best pictures I've ever taken. Tried to show this label. There we go. That's Frank Usher. Oh dear. Okay, a bit wobbly there. That happens. But just so people can see. And it came with shoulder pads as well. So it was a nice dress. $44.99. I might have paid £5 for it, if that. I honestly can't remember. I don't pay too many. Good morning, Sam. Nice to see you in. Hope your day's going well. I hope the weather's not too bad for you. I know you've had it really bad up north there. Well, you're at the office, right? Yes, well, I'm sitting on my bed recording this. Something nobody needs to see. $3.99 is pretty much my standard postage on everything. So here we go. You're getting to see. I've been selling blankets hand over fist. They've hung around a bit stinky like in summer, but the ones I've had are going now. This was not a really big one. It was lovely and a beautiful colour. $47.99, Whitney down, and it was 100% merino wool. It was a lovely thing. It was a very lovely thing. They take up so much room, blankets, though, and this is always my battle of how much do I keep them. Here we go, just showing they had a couple of pulls, trying to capture the colour. I photograph it every which way. That is probably the truest of the colour, and I said that in the description. It's a real mustardy yellow. So very pleased with those, and quite often you pick them up for sort of between £2 to £5 in charity shops. They genuinely want to get rid of them because they take up too much room. So yeah, they go through periods of being low priced and high priced on the internet. I tend to be a little ambitious in my pricing, so hell, why not? Again, these are all September posting. That had a $4.99 postage on it, just for the sheer size of the bugger. Hello, Andrew. Good morning. And Bexify. Hello, Bex. Nice to see you. This would have been a recorded one, but I couldn't work out how to do recorded on StreamYard, but I've worked out how to screen share. This is a first for the technologically illiterate treasure pirate you see before you. I am finally managed to do it without wobbly handycam, and which is just not a good way to see these things. This is it's that old Icelandic sort of patterny cardigans. It's pure wool. It makes me itch just to look at it, but it's a quality brand. Clearly, it's vintage. It had some sort of nice chunky buttons on it. I always take lots and lots of pictures. There we go. That shows it there. Made in the Iceland. So they've got to be good at warm jumpers, haven't they? Really, given their weather. Yeah, I've got obviously quite a stash of these that haven't shifted much over summer, and I'm hoping that as winter draws in, and let's face it, we're getting very autumnal now, that's what people are going to want to be buying. So there we go. I wouldn't have paid too much for it. I think I might have paid £4, somewhere around there. I try not to pay up for things. Now this, here we go. Let's get my windows right. Good old Polo Ralph Lauren. Yes, it's a saturated market, but check or plaid is a good design. Always perennially popular. This was a large. It's nothing special, but 25 quid not to be sniffed at. I would have paid between £2 and £4 for this, I would imagine. I really won't pay much more than that, simply because the markets change and shift. And I am very lucky. I have to say I'm very lucky where I am, because there's a lot of stock, especially now. Kids have gone back to school. People are clearing out, decluttering, autumn and spring. Oh, look at me being clever. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Auntie Sue. I'm trying to be clever. Yes. Well, StreamYard's making it easy, so even I can do this. You know, I'm getting the hang. It takes me forever, doesn't it? So I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling good and the morning is treating you well. I've had my coffee, so I'm able to speak. So yeah, this is a classic shirt. I think I must have photographed this in summer, and lighting wise, that's tricky for me here. And it's a man's one. I photographed them on my female model. She's not huge in the breasticle department, so, and I don't think men have a problem with things being photographed on female models. People might the other way around. I don't know. But it's a decent shirt, and it was a good brand. So $24.99, not bad. Obviously, at postage, I always charge postage on top of things. I tend not to do promoted listings, and it seems that that's not doing me any harm. I haven't got super fast dispatch dates. That's not doing me any harm. I don't know how eBay works, but it's not punishing me for not playing the games that they want you to play. So, you know, do what you think's right, people. Don't necessarily follow the herd or what eBay tells you. Yeah, North Face. Yay. Love a bit of North Face. This one had issues, and I was thinking, do I sell it? Don't I sell it? Missing a couple of buttons, a rip to a pocket, things that I couldn't really repair. I cleaned it as best I could, and I still sold it for $29.99. I think I paid a couple of quid for this. What can I say, people? Sometimes people still want things with issues. It was Gore-Tex. It was extra large. Those things may have well been in its favour. The Summit series, I will show that it had these issues. It's the elastic. When they're quite old or stored incorrectly, the elastic goes a bit. I guess it's easy to repair. There's a rip in the pocket there, and that shows you where the buttons are missing. Clearly wasn't a problem. It's been gone a while. It hasn't come back. So I'm happy with that. The only thing I do is I do. Well, sometimes I do. I'm not in bed, I'm sitting on the bed, and I definitely haven't brushed my hair. I'm a scruffy pirate this morning. You can speculate what I look like, but it's not a pretty picture. So, and I've got a horrible cold, so yeah, it's not good. Where was I? Yeah, I do free returns. Only on items under a kilo, because I'm not playing that game. And although I probably get slightly more returns than I would have done, I'm getting less item not as described, even if they have found a fault that I've missed. And it's giving me less stress. And anything that gives me less pain is kind of worth maybe a little extra outlay. So that's my opinion. I'm not suggesting you do as I do. But yeah, it's making my life a little easier. So on to the next item. This is the first of the of that lovely lot that my very lovely cousin, my high-flying cousin, sent me. There is a video of it, of my lovely haul, and this is one of the first things to go. Again, a lot of the stuff was more wintry. This is the sort of thing you'd wear with tights and lovely boots, and it's a little miniskirt, herringbone styling. I knew this would go. D&G, I know these are genuine. I have not a scrap of doubt about them. They are lovely, and the quality is fab. I'll show you the labels if that helps. There we go. Nicely sewn in label. All the detailing, all the seams, all the finishing. There's no fault to be found. Of course, the hologram logo on the label there. It's only an 8. It's a tiny size. It's a 40. They say 40, but that's an Italian size, remember, not the European size. And it's mostly wool. It's not 100% wool, mostly wool. With alpaca, is that what they're saying? Oh, 4% alpaca. Who knew? Anyway, so that's what it looked like. And it's the first item, or one of the first items that's sold. They are going slowly, but they're high quality items. High quality items are often long tail, especially if you're wanting a good price for them. I'm so what is occurring here? Yes, Heather the red-nosed treasure pirate. That's what I'm being. I've got a blocked ear as well, so if I'm shouting or not, that's why. Next item, well, you know, Filofax with a tiny ding on it. It was never used. I picked up a couple of these. Again, this was in my £2 day from my lovely place. There's what you're looking for on the outside, the lovely F. If it's not Filofax, I tend not to buy it unless it's something absolutely stunning. I worked out what model it was. It had all the bits inside, the card, the pad. I put the number on it. That helps reference what it is. So a really nice thing. Oh, where's that picture gone? There we go. A really nice thing. £35. This is the bigger size. The A5 refers to the size of the items in it, not the overall size of the finished item. And I was mostly pleased with that. I was very pleased with that. That was the very easy sell. You know, shout out to Shelley Shelsteruni on those. I don't see them very often, but when I do, I grab them. And it wasn't even a leather one, which go for more, I believe. Anthropology, I know my American eBayers will tell me about Anthropology. Beautiful pattern this. Flipping hard to photograph. That was probably the better picture of it. Pure silk, pure quality, never been worn. Clearly, it was absolutely lovely. Had an unusual back to it with a bow. 40 quid. Yeah, I think I paid a £5 for this. There we go. It's all of its labels. Apparently, this RN number, 66170, is what you look out for, because things that are sold in Anthropology do seem to carry a premium. And the name of it, because they tend to name things, it was Girls from Savoy. It was the name of the design, and 12 is the name of the company that is sold within Anthropology. No, it's the size. Oh, God. Okay, it's the size. Girls from Savoy is presumably the name of the company. They're flipping confusing, Anthropology, but they have a following. So, and if you look online at Anthropology and then they give you a massive list of all the brands they have and have stocked, it's huge. You are never going to learn them all. So look out for that RN number, 66170, and commit that to memory, because if you see them and don't overpay for them, they are worth picking up. So, here we go. Next item. All Saints. Everyone knows about All Saints. They're very widely faked. These were a surprise. I've had a couple of these. Picked up boot fair. I think I paid £1 each for them. These are massively oversized. I mean, enormous. And it says inside it's a size 10. I like the design on this. It's kind of tribally, feathers. That's what drew me to it. If I looked like this, I'd look deeply sad if I wore one of these, because it would just hang. However, and yes, it is sort of slightly blurry and kind of homespun looking. They are huge. You pull them out. They've faded. They look like someone's thrown something on them. They're very unattractive. There's the All Saints label, hand dyed. This particular kind of design is highly sought after. It's called a feathers top. There's a blurry one, but hey. It's called a feathers top. And this style, and I had another one that had some other kind of hand-drawn item look on it, also did very well. $38.99. Very high price, but I got it. It hasn't come back, so I'm happy. Just one of those weird things that when I researched it, it turned out to be something that was in demand. I would have picked it up even if it hadn't been, to be honest, for that price. But you never know. Next, yes, guess. This, I'm showing you the label because this was my front page, because this is actually the vintage label. This is from the 80s, early 90s. Faded, stone-washed mom jeans. And if you had that as your main picture, they didn't look anything special. But they've got a following, and they're right on trend right now. Double button job. Yeah, tapered leg, high waist. These were in nice condition. I think I picked these up at a jumble ages ago. I've had these on forever. It's like the world's been catching up with me. And finally, these things are selling. Very happy to get £35 for them. I held out because I knew, I've seen them in blogs and vlogs, people would want them. It just took a while to go. I think I had a big period of time when my eBay account was invisible, and now I seem to be visible again. and it's more wintry to wear, I suppose. So keep an eye out for vintage guests. Always a good thing. Always a good thing. Back to the North Face. These were another pickup on a £2 day. I was very happy to have these. I'm oh, what have I done there? Oh, I don't know what I've done there. Okay, so hopefully you can still see it. It's because I'm squinting around going between screens. North Face hoodie. I had a couple of these, £2 a piece, enormous size, 2XL, great condition. Spell out logo on the front. What's not to love? And that went pretty quickly. I only picked these up last month for £30, which I thought was a fair price. It was a hooded design. I tend to do a close-up at the front so people can see, and yes, my thumb may feature details on it so they can see it's a genuine item. Made in Macedonia. I had no idea. So a good thing. I'm getting a sore throat here as well. I'll keep going. I'm going to plough on, people. Cause, yes. Now, people see these and they leave them. I picked this up again in a £2 sale last month at a favourite place of mine. And I gave it a clean and a little bit of a go with Brasso, but nothing excessive. It's a very particular style, but copper and brass, these mixed metals, are quite popular. Photographed it like this. Had all the bits in it. It's a fireside companion set, and as winter draws ever closer, people are going to start wanting to get their fires on. You wait, they're going to be lighting up soon. On a cold night, and they'll all be on again, including me, because I've got an open fire, and it's not big. A lot of people in these old Victorian houses like mine haven't got room for a great big set. They don't want enormous. They want something that pops on the edge of the, just sits down by the side of it. I showed its imperfections. It has a bit of a arts and craftsy feel about it. You can see it's got the foxing on it. It's not new. It's got faults. Oh, nasty nail polish going on there. Hope they didn't look too closely at that. But a good thing. A really nice thing. So I was pleased. There we go. Sorry, I stopped swirling around. These are good finds if you can be bothered to pack and post them. They don't all go for this amount. This was an unusual design. But I'm not afraid to post things like this. And it was quite a sizable parcel when it was all bundled up, I've got to say. But I had nice feedback on that one. So pleased. Very pleased with that. Thank you, Sean. That's very sweet. Hello and good morning to you. Well, this is the thing, you see, being self-employed, if you get really ill, you can't do much. But I've not been that ill. I've just been feeling a bit sorry for myself, but soldiering on as we do. And I put this as this was the main lead because I wanted to show a flowy, full-pleated evening skirt from Jaeger. Again, when they're like that, they're not quite so glorious, and I will switch pictures around. Very happy to get $34.99 for this. I've had it a while. It's nice and heavy, very full. You know, how many different ways can you show pleats? They were showing that it has these layers. You know, I haven't got the most sophisticated photographic setup. I really haven't. But it shows that you don't really need to. Just pop everything in, show what you can, show the size. There we go. I hadn't even turned that picture around. But it's not a vintage one, this. But it's of the style. This is very much on trend right now, as any of you follow them. Let me just see what free flu shots. Oh, morning, Kelly. Hiya. Sorry, catching up with the things there. Yeah, free flu shots. I think they do. I don't know if they do here. Little kids, I think. I'm going to get a flu shot for this coming winter because I really can't afford to be ill. But I haven't made the trip round to the GPs to get it done. They actually do it in the practice, which is wonderful. I will get mine for this winter. I just haven't been on the ball. I had one last winter and I didn't get ill at all. So, yeah, I'd say go for it. It's worth it, especially when you can't afford to be ill. Next one. These Harrington Highwayman style jackets. I don't know why they call it that, but they're kind of old style biker jackets. This was Tommy Hilfiger. This I picked up. I picked this up for very little money. I think this was in a silly sale. I might have got it for £2. I might have got it for £5. But, you know, I won't overpay for leather stuff because Again, it takes up a lot of space in charity shop. They want to get rid of it cheap. Some places try and charge 25 quid for it. I wouldn't buy it for that. I might have even paid 10. I seriously can't remember. I would not have paid more than that. It was in beautiful, beautiful condition. It had this lovely quilted lining, which means it's going to be warm for winter. It was a medium, so not a big size. Made in China. It's not an old one. There we go. It tells you all about it. There we go. I put all the labels in so people can see it's a genuine article. That probably sold within 3 months. I think picking these things up in high summer seems silly, but autumn clicks round again and they will sell. I always make sure my shop is very well stocked. I find September and October are probably 2 of my best months of the year, and currently it's shaping up to be that way again. So yeah, there are conditions to your flu shots here. I pay for mine. It cost me a tenner. And I'm worth a tenner, I think, for that. I don't have a problem with it. This was one of mine. This was one of my old ones. I've had this. I have many jackets. Loved the jacket. Picked it up at the charity shop for £5. Wore it a few times. It is very vintage, hence it's very of that era, and I will sell these hand over fist. It's not even a special brand, and I got $22.99 for it. I had good photos. You can wear it that way, or as I tend to wear it, loose, or like that. Many ways to wear it. It's slightly nipped in. It's a figure flattering thing. No special brand. It's a wool blend. I got good value out of it and I got bored with it, so I passed it on. Really, really nice. It is actually a black colour, not a dark blue. But it's a good thing. It's £10 or best offer here. I'm not sure they take best offers at the pharmacy, but you can always haggle, can't you? There's always haggling to be done. Oh, right, and coming on to my very last one. My very last one. These were from the high-end haul that I didn't have to pay for, that came to me for free. So I was a happy bunny. These went quite swiftly. Great, big, heavy wedges. I know they were genuine because they came from my lovely, lovely relative. Barely been worn. Prada. There you go. Logos all over the shop. Lots of pictures of these. I put lots of pictures in for anything high-end. I show any scuffs. Those were the only scuffs they had. They'd literally been outworn once. I'm pretty sure of it. Tiny bit of wear to the heels. Everything in good order. And those went off. Those sold within a month of listing. And they were at the beginning of the month, I think. So probably not being worn now unless it's in a warm country. I do find quite a few things will go over abroad and overseas. As I think I've often said, I do about 20% of my stuff is GSP. I do everything GSP because I can't cope with the headache of anything else. And it may cost me the odd sale, but in terms of my stress levels and fanning around, it works well for me. Carla's in. Carla, you've done it again. You've missed me live. I'm at the end of me all. I hope you're well, Carla. I hope the bedrooms and offices and everything is coming along. It's just, I picked 20 sales from September, slightly more interesting ones, and have gone through them, so you're welcome to watch back. I know, how does that happen? I didn't mean to go live. I'm trying to master StreamYard, you know, Carl. I'm trying to master tech because I've been failing, and I've been promising sales updates for forever. So I finally got around to doing it. Thought, I know, I'll record one on StreamYard and then put it up later on, and blow me, I wasn't able to do it. If you use StreamYard and you're able to do that, please tell me how. So I ended up having to go live anyway. But there's 20 things on here. A lot, you know, some are bolos, some are things you're very unlikely to find, and some of the things I was very lucky to find, I have to say. You're surrounded by old tat. Yes, I have got a mending pile. I'll just put it in this cupboard. I've got an IKEA bag, a blue IKEA bag, where that's my to be repaired pile. And I do repair things, it's true. And sometimes I look at them and go, it's not worth it. If you're never going to mend any of it, then I would either get rid of it or give it to someone who will mend it and sell it. Some things are worth mending and some just aren't. If it's a low end item, it's just like no, nope, nope, nope. If it's something that I think is going to get good money, then yeah, this is worth my time. It's a time thing, isn't it? We're all busy people. Yeah, get back in bed. Get back in bed, Lainey, is a good thing to do. I'm tempted myself, but no, I'm not going to. I've got to do some photography because I've got a dull day here. It's piddling it down out there. It's very, and it might be a good day to photograph, but the light level is a bit low, but I'll give it a go. If I had some more, they'd sell as a bundle. Well, you're bound to get some more. You get loads of stuff, don't you, coming in with your bags and bags that get delivered to you, all the bags that you get from the charity shops. I'm aware I've got to list a whole shed load of stuff, and I've still got backlisting of stuff that I thought was listed, and as far as I can tell, it wasn't. So I've actually got this. That is a death pile because I thought it was listed, and it clearly wasn't when I did my last stock take. And there's a lot of it. I mean, there's far too much of it. So I've got to double check it isn't already listed, and then photograph it all new because my old photographs disappeared when I had a computer fail much earlier in the year. So I've got a lot of work to do. So much as I'd like to crawl to bed, that it really isn't going to happen. Plus I've got stuff to photograph that I bought earlier in the week, and I've got 3 places to go to tomorrow morning. That's going to mean I've got more tack coming in. Yeah, that's a facepalm, that is. But while things are selling, I'm kind of thinking, you know what? I'm squirreling away. I'm going to get good stuff, and I'm going to keep it going. Yeah, if it's not worth pride of place in your tap room, then get shopped. I'm always putting bags aside, and they go regularly down to the Salvation Army, and I get £2 for a bag, and in voucher form, because then I can actually afford something in their shop because their prices here are steamingly high. I think the manager there is beginning to start to hate me because I think she realises that I take her stuff I can't sell, and then I use that money to buy something I'm going to sell. But, well, that's their fault for having a silly pricing policy, I guess. I just don't know why they do it. Other Salvation Armies don't. But there you go. They all make their own choices. Now, I've just seen something on the chat. So board games are a bit missing. I might find the missing piece. I've got some high-end stuff. And in fact, I sold one yesterday that had missing pieces declared, and it still went. So a good game will do it. A low-end game with missing pieces, unless someone on the chat's got the spare bit and is going to send you the bit, I probably wouldn't bother. Right, this drink, let me see recipe. Water, fresh ground ginger, check, got that. Lemon, tiny bit of cayenne pepper, dash of turmeric, ground spice powder. Make as hot as you can stand it. I can't drink hot drinks, I have to say. But I might well try that. That's got a lot of healing. I can see the healing herbs in there and spices. I do honey. I would put honey in that, possibly. That might make it taste slightly better. Good honey. I might give that a go, Sean. Thank you very much. Now, your Salvation Army is normally cheaper than the rest. Yeah, I have a very good scents shop. It's big, and I think they tend to price everything at a certain price, so that works for me. It means you've got to go through it all. And I love our hospice shops because it's a cause close to my heart, and there's a lot of them, and they vary hugely, but I love them. Yeah, be brutal, Carla. Now is the time. Now that you're moving into that new space, is to make it a happy space. And if it's full of stuff that's bringing you down, that actually does weigh on you. I think it's good to get shot. Personal estate auctions. We don't really have those. I know the things you mean. I've seen a lot of the Americans going to them and scoring big time when it's a niche that they've already got. We don't get a lot of that here. A lot of people will put stuff to auction, or it'll go to the house clearance people. So make good contact with your friendly house clearance people, I would say. I'm working on my contacts. I'm still not quite there, but they're growing. And now that there's a lot of indoor stuff going to be going on, I will be talking to them. You forgot the honey in the recipe. Yeah, it would taste foul without the honey. Turmeric is very, I think it's very cleansing for the liver, if I remember. There's a lot of things it's good for. I love it in dal, lentil dal. It's a good thing. Auction houses. I've never done auction houses, Sean. A lot of people in these groups do. I know Auntie Sue does. I know other people that do, but I've not got any very near me, and I'm slightly scared that I'll come back with a mountain of chat and I really haven't got the space. Because in order to get the things that you want, you seem to have to buy a whole lot of other stuff. So volume's not really my game. I'm more of a picker. House clearances, Shauna, again, I don't know if they have it in the US or a version of it, is perhaps when someone's died. I think passed is the polite word now, but I prefer to say died because that's what it is. That's what happens. People are born and they die. They don't. What's the opposite of passed? Arrived, I suppose. It doesn't seem quite right. Anyway, so someone has shuffled off the mortal coil, and people then often want to sell their house, or they've taken what they want of the personal effects, and they then want to not have to deal with the rest of the stuff. So what they will often do is either call in an auction house to value, and the auction house will often say, well, we'll take this, 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 and this, because they'll sell, but we're not taking anything else. Then they'll call in the house clearance people who will just clear the house, usually for a fee, actually. They get paid to take away everything else, and then you'll see it turn up at the next boot fair, flea market, whatever, sale. You'll see it turn up, and it will be someone's personal effects that are then sold. They'll turn up, and it'll be everything and anything, a load of old took, but there'll be some stuff in there. Usually small stuff, bric-a-brac, lamps, vases, china, electrical goods and that kind of thing. Exactly. So you do come back round with an awful lot of stuff. Rock and stew. Yeah, I love a rock and stew, Andrew. Mine tends to feature lamb, however, and I'm guessing yours doesn't. But I do like it. Yeah, go and do the parcel run, Carla. I mind doing my posting tomorrow. I'm not even going out today because this is disgusting. It's absolutely shedding. It's like someone's just turned the shower on. And I'm in the loft, so you can probably hear it on my roof. I love the sound of it. I just don't want to be in there. And it's just started chucking it down for you. You see, just because you said you were going to go out, that's what happens. So I haven't dared do an auction yet. I'd love to go just for the sheer theatre of it and to see what's what, but I'm not sure what I would buy. I'd have to go to a general sale. Raining steroids, cats and dogs, I believe. Although that's not an image you want in your head. Raining cats and dogs, or peeing it down, really. Persistently raining. Right. Ladies and gentlemen and others, I'm going to go. My voice is about to give in. Joan, morning, Joan. I'm just saying goodbye. You can watch it back though. There's some nice bits and pieces there and a few bolos. So I will see you all later. I will say goodbye and hope you all have a wonderful, good day, whatever the weather's doing to you. That your sales are many and the smiles are in multitudes. Tatty bye. Bye bye, y'all.